What it do, good people? Welcome to the Daniel Diagnosis. I am your host, Keith Daniel. And if you don't know what we do around these parts of the Daniel Diagnosis, I'm about to tell you. We try to diagnose the everyday nonsense we go through and make sense of it all. How do we do that? By shedding light and spreading love. Hope everybody have been safe, productive, and blessed out there in them streets. Got a great show lined up for you. We're going to get into Bobby Hemmitt and this black mental illness thing. If you don't know who Bobby Hemmitt is, I suggest you do your research. He's one of the best philosophical minds about metaphysical properties of this place that we live at, that this world has seen, in my opinion. All right? So we're going to get into that and much, much more right here on the Daniel Diagnosis. See you on the flip side.
I got a purpose, I'm worth it, dog. Been looking for myself, yeah, I was searching, dog. And then I found myself, and I knew that I didn't need no one's help. As I grow old, I go deeper in my soul, and I am what I am. I only know what I know, and I'm smart enough to know I really don't know shit. If I don't know nothing, I bet I know this.
What it do, good people? Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Keith Daniel, and this is the Daniel Diagnosis. Like I said, people, got a great show today. Bobby Hemmitt. We got a video of him. He's talking about the black mental illness problem. And me personally, I can understand exactly where he's coming from, because when you see the state of black America right now and where we're at, we have a lot of people that's sick. And it's a mental sickness. It's not a sickness of having a virus or catching a bug or anything like that. It's literally a mental illness. And the thing about it is, in a lot of cases, status and money is the diagnosis of the cause for the sickness. Status and money. And Bobby's going to go into that. Bobby Hemmitt, man, I hold him in high regards in my book. Again, I'm not a traditional type learner. I'm not the guy that's going to be into the history books to a degree. I'm not keen on something somebody gives me and tells me that I need to know this because this is history. No, I'm a free thinker. I go out there and I challenge whatever I've been taught. I think that's the only way you get to understand what's true and what's false. It's an iron sharpens iron situation. So I advise you all, if you don't know who Bobby Hemmitt is, do your research. Get on YouTube, get on Google. Serious Times Media, that's a great platform. They got a lot of his lectures and whatnot. He's been going around this country for a long time doing what he did. He's passed and transitioned on at this point, but he did his job while he was here. Like I always say on the disclaimers for the Daniel Diagnosis, if you don't have an intelligent mind that can entertain a thought without accepting it, this channel ain't for you, all right? If you don't like sidebars, this channel ain't for you, because I do that. Again, everybody's I ain't gonna say intelligence, everybody's understanding on these topics are on different levels. You know, so if you don't like the sidebars, just go somewhere where you can see the actual video directly. You know what I mean? Now, I will try not to sidebar that much, but it is what it is. You know, so with that being said, man, we're gonna get into it. Like I said, we got Bobby Hemmitt, man. He's gonna be talking about mental illness in the black community and what we going through and whatnot, man. And I think it's gonna be a good video. But without further ado, good people, we're gonna get right on into that. You know what I'm talking about? So let's ride.
We are so fucked up now. I got white people asking me what's wrong with us. I got white people that I know on a personal level. He said, look, man, I don't mean no harm. He said, what's wrong with black people? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, where do I start? I pick a spot. We hate ourselves so bad that we'll do anything now. I mean, when I mean the word anything, I'm gonna put a capital A at the word anything. For money, for position, for a car. I saw a nigga man eating some snakes on Fear Factor about 2 weeks ago for $50,000. And then when he got through with that, he had to eat some cow manure or something.
And did he make it?
And he didn't make it.
They never do.
No, he didn't make it because the white boy, because you know white folks, when they come to that, they got the black man beat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, it used to be a time, man, that wait a minute, niggas, oh no, I'm sorry, I ain't doing that. I'm sorry, I don't care how much you give me. Like for me, I'm not too far on the height, so I don't give a damn how much money you offer me. I'm not going to no motherfucking mountaintop, looking down and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
I may fall off of there because of indigo, you know.
Right.
But not indigo, vertigo.
Right.
Correction. But my thing is, Bobby, I call it ethics, man. It's just, there is none. I mean, we you know, everybody I talk to seem to be disgusted with one another.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
We have become, we will do anything for money.
Anything.
The black woman has to watch it because she'll do anything for security.
Right. Right.
And I understand this, but they'll do anything for security. You know what I'm saying? And we will do just about anything. As a matter of fact, you can train a people, or people can slip so low until money can be just as addictive
That's dope.
as dope, crack, and all that. I have seen people mindset on one day they fine. The next day they get a little money because they got a little money. They put, they got a little loan on the house, or they, you know what I'm saying, or they got some little injury.
Whatever.
And we talking about low. We talking about just. We're not talking about millions.
We talking about a few thousand.
We just talking about a few thousand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you don't see the motherfuckers no more.
And if you do see them, they got a whole new attitude.
Right, but not only that, it's something that snaps in them. You know what I'm saying? You never, you don't see them. It'd be 2-3 months until the money run out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost as if some type of phobia, that the world is out to get them, and at this particular time they go into this animalistic survival mode that I gotta get mine.
And I don't give a damn about nobody.
Nobody else.
Nobody.
You see.
Facts. Facts, facts, facts. I'm speaking from experience. I know what he's talking about. If you've been in the streets, and I'm talking about really in the streets, your mindset is that. When you done experienced almost being on a certain mountaintop, and then you fall off that mountaintop, a phobia kicks in. What kind of phobia is this? The phobia of doing without. Not being able to do the things you want to do. Don't mess around and get to the point where you can't do the things you need to do. Oh my God, you done became a monster out here. If you was anything like me, boy, you'll become a straight up fool. Like, you got to have something. It don't matter how you get it. Don't matter who you got to hurt to get it. You going to get it. You see what I'm saying? That's a dangerous mindset. And he's right. It's like a phobia. It's like we've been so conditioned into the point of materialism, to the point to where we forget all about spirituality. We forget all about our common duty to our fellow man or woman. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just like the hell away with everybody. It's me against the world. I want it all, and I'm willing to kill everybody to get it. That's a sick mentality, y'all. Let's proceed.
And so, we're talking about a psychological level that literally money could be the catalyst for a form of, we talk about black mental illness, but we talking about black nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
They literally go insane for a minute when the money comes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or Another part is going insane when their security of the comfort zone is at stake.
Right.
So these are phobias and fears.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And basically it's boiled down to this. We will do anything for money. And if you stand up with a little bit of pride and dignity and say you're not going to do it, don't worry. There's 50 niggas that will.
That's right. Or 100.
Or 1,000.
Or me.
Pick a number. The point I'm trying to make is there is no end into the insanity.
Yeah.
They will pay people to say anything. You know, these comedians will come on and they will say anything to sell out the race. They will, the rappers, or you know, for every person that's got something of sense and structure to say, you got 50 Negroes that will do.
Now you understand what's going on with the entertainment. They don't want Negroes like me that got the talent and the common sense and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to give you good and wholesome instructions. They don't want Negroes like me. No, buddy, they don't want Negroes like me. You know why? Because they got 1,000, 100,000 more lined up to give you this ignorant ass shit that you are craving. That's why. Why you think they go get them so young? Think about when you was 17, 18 years old. What you really knew? Nothing. Your mind still putty. That 18 through 21 year period right there, that 3 year period right there from 18 years old to 21, very important. That's why they want you out the house at 18, because they can take that young adult right there and that last little bit of mind forming that has to go on in that period right there in order to understand who you are and what you should be doing. They can manipulate that. See, that's the problem. That's what we up against. Like when Rod Hayes say, man, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. If folk that look just like you, that's part of the problem. That's more so part of the problem than any white man you can put on the board. I'm just keeping it 100. Because it's the people that look like you that's giving you the information to keep you down. I'm sorry. If they chose to be on that side of the fence, so be it. But it is what it is. I can't go over there. I got integrity. I'm not willing to do anything just to get something, well, just to have something. That ain't me. I used to be though. I'm just keeping it 100. That's why I can sympathize a little bit. But the part that I can't understand is, why do people continuously choose to be on their side, especially when they know better? Because when you know better, you're supposed to do better, right? So those I have no empathy for, because they choosing their demise. They're sowing exactly what they're going to reap. So it is what it is. But what he's saying is he dead on. I'm talking about he hitting it on the head, and you got to think this was years ago. This might have been a couple decades ago when that man recorded. I wish I had a timestamp on it, and I probably do if I go in, but I ain't trying to do all that. But I know it was a while back when he stated this. And he's saying it in this fashion right here. Rod Hayes can say it in the way he said when he talk about, you know, the factions of us that's on one side and the factions on the other side. Because Bobby Hemmitt also makes a statement, you know, in his lectures that it's one big family feud. That's all it is. And think about it. When it really boils down to it, what's at stake in the hood? When it's going to be, what you have is a set of people that want the betterment for everybody. And then you have a set of people, this the hood I'm talking about. Then you got a set of people that don't give a fuck about everybody. They'll shit on anybody. They'll put the drugs in the hood, they'll shoot up the hood, they'll do whatever just so they can have a dollar. I used to be on that side of the fence. But my integrity wouldn't let me stay over there because I knew what I was doing was wrong. Time just had to well on me until I understood that I needed to make a change. See, it's different in our community than it is in Italian communities and things of that nature, Irish communities, because they didn't do the dirt in their community. They went outside their community. They protected their community. We don't do that. We poison our community, we disrupt our community, we terrorize our community, we tear down the community, and we won't build back.
Anything because we fell in love with this money. And you know it's interesting because the same pathology of the greed and the insanity that we go for when it comes to this money is the same thing that end up losing the money.
Yep.
This excess spending and not investing in other black people that you could have some type of parity or some type of fortification with your money.
Right. No economic plan or stability.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we talking about something on that particular level that we're talking about material, or when we talk about human beings, we talk about useless eaters. We're talking about people that just basically taking up space because there's nothing virtuous
About them.
in the aspect, even in the basic level of survival. You see what I'm saying? It's just like the movie X-Files. They had the X-Files series, then you had the movie that came out in '98. And the guy said, survival is the ultimate theology. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Not survival of the fittest, but survival of the species. And if you break that down, they're talking about survival of not only yourself, but others that look like you.
Right.
And other people tend to get this thing right. Let's just take other groups, that come here.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to see a homeless Asian. You see what I'm saying? Because he could always go work in the nail shop.
Right. Or the Chinese restaurant.
Right.
Or the carry out.
It was interesting because my girl go get her feet done and all at this Asian up the street. They're so cheap. And she talking to him, and she said, "Well, how you learn how to do all these nails and this manicure and pedicure and all that?" The Asian girl said, "Oh, we learned this in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come over, we just go to the nearest business of our families and sit at a table and do your nails." And it's a high.
They said they learned that shit in high school. High school. We ain't learning shit in high school. But we don't even have no financial literacy classes in high school, man. I'm serious. Like, straight up. We're not learning how to even take care of ourselves. We learning a bunch of paper shit. Some paperwork and shit and a bunch of nothing. Then you gotta go pay to learn a little bit of something. And with whatever you paying to learn, if you don't get a degree in the right shit, you still ain't got no damn job. It ain't no guarantee you gonna get nothing. You know how many people out here that got bullshit ass degrees that's working at a job that has nothing to do with the schooling they went and got? It's more of them doing that than it is working that's using their degree in a field that they actually studied in. But my point is, this anomaly that black people are going through, it's an anomaly that only exists in the black community. And at this point, it's a choice. I'm sorry, man. Y'all want to shoot Kanye when he was talking like that, but he had a very, very rational point. At this point, it's a choice. There's no censorship to the degree of how I used to be or nothing. Like, we just choosing it. But I digress.
High school curriculum. I'm like, you're right. That's better than something they teaching you where you can't make no money. You at least ought to be able to know how to do certain things like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to say, but then again, on the other hand, we can't take the time to think about being that extension for the community because we hate each other.
Speaking of hate, man, Bobby, I think about 2 months ago. Now, this is what you call the highest form of insanity when it comes to a Negro. There's a guy by the name of Vernon Robinson out of South Carolina. This nigga ran for senator on a banner of Strom Thurmond. He said he called himself the new Strom Thurmond, and that his mentors was George Wallace, Trent Lott, and Ronald Reagan. This was a Negro, and he lost the race.
Sold out.
He sold out and lost.
Right. Sold out and lost. That's like a boy I knew back in 1976. A guy.
Before Bobby say that, when they talking about that dude there, the Robinson dude or whoever he is, I don't think I can think about a Herschel Walker. I'm sorry, I don't know why Herschel Walker popped up in my mind. Georgia fan, y'all gotta explain that shit. Roll Tide.
I gave him $1 to give him some head. And the guy gave him the head for the $1, and the nigga didn't give him the $1. What kind of nigga will sell the fuck out and then lose?
Right.
Knowing damn well he gonna lose.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this has got to be some kind of clone shit, man.
Man, something is going on. But I told you, man, now, you know, like I explained to you and some of the fellas up in New York, the EMF wave, and for those that know what the EMF wave is, we're talking about extremely low frequencies. The parameters go from 6 cycles to 11.7. And 6 cycles, we're talking about being lethargic and delusionary and just fucking brain dead. And when you get to 11.3%, you're talking about violence. Now, you're talking about seizures and violent reactions. So based on this mind control, a lot of them niggas must be in the 6th percentile because brain dead.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, it is something wrong. I got people I talk to every day that just don't understand why they can't see something fucked up with Bush. I mean, I'll just give you an example. Now, anybody in their right man can see that Bush is fucked up. Straight up.
Yeah.
And half the people that said they voted for him was based on moralism. Now, how the motherfucker who lies as much as this motherfucker and doing all this killing,
Right.
and when they showed his record on TV and told you about this cracker going all the way back, even back to his Prescott Bush, because we got pictures of Prescott Bush at the lynchings. Remember?
That's right.
Now,
Bush was at pictures of him at black lynchings in the 1930s.
right, we got pictures of
In
him.
the 1920s.
Right. So what I'm saying to you, how is it that people, because white folks are not my primary concern, I'm talking about black folks, but why is it that black folks, who call themselves even so-called Republican, can't see there's something wrong with this guy, man? I mean, the sanity is just gone beyond comprehension here.
And not only that, my point here is they had a complete movie to come out that all black people watched, the Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not advocating Kerry, but I'm trying to say this, but we got to understand this particular part. Now, let's break both of them down. First of all, our people don't know about a conspiracy of a one elite system that's ruled by somebody else other than the president. They don't know about that.
Right, secret society, right.
A secret society. They don't know that Kerry and Bush's cousins and a part of the Skull and Bones, and you're getting virtually the same thing.
Right.
But we can say this, for them that don't know that there's an elite party and there's no such thing as actually a government.
Right, that's fake.
That's fake.
Mm-hmm.
The people who believe in a two-party system and a democratic movement, one thing we can say about Kerry, if you take the lesser two evils, he hasn't done anything yet that you can say
he's evil,
that you can judge him on.
right.
But we have had 4 years of Bush.
Yes.
Now, I'm not talking about me because I wouldn't vote for Kerry or Bush. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm saying the people out here, our black people, that think we live in this particular Disney World view of America.
Right.
That think about a two-party system and are actually thinking,
your vote counts.
Your vote counts. They saw, not only the movie you saw at first hand, I'm talking about this based on religion, that a man would lie to you to go up in a country and send your children to war to get killed. And some of you receive letters and caskets full of your fucking people.
And fold up flags.
And fold up flags. You see what I'm saying? From this war, and yet this cracker is yet to bring back one bullet from what he said he went in there for. Not Saddam Hussein. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't go there for Saddam Hussein.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if people can remember, see, this is what mind control, because we have I used to say a 3-year memory span. No, this shit is like 3 months now.
Right.
It's not 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's tell the truth.
Right.
It's about 3 months. No, that's still being a good generous.
Let's say
That shit like 3 days.
yeah, 72 hours.
72 hours memory span. That's literally on the animal level.
That's right.
That's like a fish in a tank going, oh, I'm a fish in a tank. It's fucked up. I need to get up. I'm a fish in a tank.
And just swim
it's
back and
fucked
forth.
up. I need to get up. I'm a fish
Yeah.
in a tank. It's fucked up. I need to never.
Yeah.
That's what black people are like.
Right.
Now, all they got to go back and understand this. Because here's a man, we're so ignorant. And I'm blaming white folks for this too. But we're so ignorant. And so all we had to do is go back sometime in the spring of 2003. Right before he went to war, it was right before, I think it was right a couple of days before the spring equinox. And he told Saddam Hussein on national TV, I'm giving you 24 hours or 48 hours to get out of Baghdad. Let me show you mind control. He said, I'm giving you 48 hours or 24 hours to get out of Baghdad. You understand what I'm saying? Or we going to war. So you mean to tell me that there was a possibility if he got out of Baghdad, it would have been all right? Now I'm gonna show you. You saying, yeah, well, he did say that. Well, where are you getting? Well, they went up into Iraq and had a whole war and didn't bring back no weapons. But when you asked them what was it all for, they said, well, we got Saddam Hussein. Well, wait a minute, hold on. You got Saddam Hussein, and that's supposed to be the prize? Right. Well, I thought before the war started, you was giving him 24 hours to get out of Baghdad.
That's right.
So, but I'm trying to figure this out. If you was trying to let the man go free at first, how is going to war to capture him, as you're saying, and saying you were successful when that wasn't the option in the beginning?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it wasn't an option on whether you was going to capture him in the beginning because you was giving him 24 hours to get up out of Baghdad. Now all of a sudden you done went to war and you found nothing.
That do make sense though. Like how are you gonna give a person an ultimatum and then just say, okay, we going to war? Like you say, okay, and then when you go over there and say, what you got when you went over there? Okay, we got Saddam. You didn't want Saddam. You actually tried to give him a chance to get away, just to get out of there. You see what I'm saying? So that wasn't the issue. Think about it now. They went over there for WMDs, weapons of mass destruction. That's what they went over there for. And they ain't came back, they ain't come back with Nathaniel. Nothing. Zip, nada, zilch. Remember that. So you gotta, like he said, stop thinking about what happened last week and that's it. No, remember. Remember, put these members back together and you gonna start seeing a picture. They went over there for some bullshit. what they telling us they went over there for ain't what they went over there for. I'm telling you, but they raided the palace, they raided them museums over there. Now why would you raid a museum? Our people die for a lack of knowledge, man. We suffering for that. Information's key, y'all. Very, very key. Let Bible continue.
And yet now, we captured Saddam Hussein. Which wasn't an option before you went in there. Because the option you gave him before you went in was his own freedom.
Mm-hmm. Which was...
Now you're saying that you're a success because you got him.
When
you arrested him.
And when he wasn't even the object, it was supposed to be Bin Laden.
Even before Bin Laden, whatever happened to that? The point I'm trying to make here is, now going back to black folks, because we're not concerned about white folks.
Right.
Although they were duped into this too, but going back to black folks, because I'm trying to make this point. How is a liar and a deceiver that brought your children home dead worthy of being called moralistic that you would vote for him on a religious perspective?
Right. I mean, that's just the highest form of I'm telling you, man, it's mind-boggling. You know, it's mind-boggling, Bobby. It's mind-boggling.
Not only that. This also means that black people are really not spiritual at all.
Nope.
What it means, your spirituality is based on who shows up at your church.
That's right.
Or better yet, who pays you with faith-based initiative.
501c3.
501c3 in the prospect that we know the black people mainly follow their pastors. And we know that was who was it, T.D. Jakes?
It was T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, a guy by the name of I.B. Hilliard.
Yes, right.
And Fred Price, Eddie Long.
Bishop Eddie Long.
All of them. All of them got their congregations to vote Republican.
But vote Republican.
Which means vote for Bush because of his moral standards.
Because of his moral standards.
Which is none.
Which is none, because he's a liar.
Right.
And a murderer.
And a thief.
And a thief. And you saw the movie that showed the people in Baghdad.
That's right.
Being slaughtered.
That's right.
Now I want to know what kind of God you worship.
What kind of God?
All right, so here's a quick
Well, I've been ranting and raving, man. My mic been muted for a while. It's all good though. But what I was saying is, he broke down W in a way to where, when you look back in retrospect, you can understand exactly what we were dealing with. He said that W was a liar, a murderer, and a cheat. What did he say, cheat? But you know what I'm getting to. The parable that I had in my head was, the devil comes only to kill, steal, and destroy. And then he lined up all these big bishops and pastors or whatnot in these mega churches and broke down that all of them got their congregation to vote Republican back then. Now, me personally, I ain't no big Democrat, Republican guy. I'm all about morals and ethics. You know what I mean? Straight up integrity. What you gonna stand on, what you're about. Is you gonna do what you gonna say you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? Like, and history have shown us, ain't nobody ever, in my opinion, just lived up to the bill that they sold the people on what they were gonna do when they got in there. You see what I'm saying? So that's neither here nor there. But it's the audacity of our people. See, we are, to me, I'm just being honest with you, we the only folks that like this. Like, we literally sick. We've been done a number on. And it's hard to break that programming. It's hard to break it. It's like, it's an anomaly. Like, we can see bullshit, but won't call bullshit. We can experience bullshit, but won't call bullshit. We just accept it like that's the way it is. Things are always gonna be the same. That's just the way it is. Like Tupac said. Like, but it ain't like that, bro. We have an opportunity to change things just by changing our mentality. But the leaders got to step up first. We have to educate. Education is needed. We ain't talking about no fairy tale ass education. We need to educate on real history, real knowledge, and real understanding on how this shit works. Is everybody gonna have to know it from a metaphysical standpoint, like Bobby Hemmitt, baby, giving it to you right now? No. Everybody's mind ain't though. Some people just need to be fine with, hey man, get up off the block and go find you something to do, get you a trade, get you a job. Understand what it is to work. Understand how society really operates. You see what I'm saying? And that's where they at until they desire to seek more knowledge. You ain't forcing nothing on nobody. Everybody gonna fall in line where they supposed to be at. The problem is, don't nobody want to fall in line. Don't nobody want no education. Everybody want to maintain this sickness. Nobody wants to go to the doctor and diagnose this shit and be like, hey man, we sick. And I ain't talking about no literal doctor. I'm just speaking metaphorically. We have to diagnose this nonsense, y'all. That's the only way you're gonna be able to move forward. If you sick and you know something ain't right, what's the first step? Identifying what the fuck ain't right. You see what I'm saying? That's the first step. You have to identify the problem. If you go to any AA meeting, they're going to tell you have to, the first step is admitting that you have a problem. That's the first step of reconciliation. That's the first step of resolution. That's the first step of anything when you're moving forward after catastrophe or situations that maybe not was too good for you. You know what I mean? Like, anything that go on like that, you got to recognize it, folks. But the problem is we won't do that. We keep our head in the sand. We choose cognitive dissonance over prosperity. And we choose to be sold a fake prosperity and continue to live a lie. Like, seriously, that's really and truthfully what happens. Cognitive dissonance is, I think I explained it in another video, but it's when this wall behind me has a Crimson Tide sign on, post on it, right? Framed up. I'm telling you, that's an Alabama Crimson Tide emblem on that painting. You've been taught all your life that that's a Georgia Bulldog emblem. And nothing I can make you, nothing I can show you, nothing I can let you read, nothing I can let you experience will make you believe that that emblem right there belongs to Alabama. That's cognitive dissonance. You can have all the information in the world provided to a person, but if their mindset is stuck in their programming and they are not ready to break it, they're going to go along with the bullshit continuously and on and on. Period. That's where we at. That's the problem. And this thing that we are fighting with more so than anything else is individualism and materialism. Period. The phobia is the fear. We're being ruled by fear. A fear of, as an individual, if I don't be like this or if I'm not acting like that, I won't be accepted. If I say this, they will ridicule me. They'll humiliate me. That's the individual shit. The material shit is I need this in order to be this while I'm here on this planet. I need this in order to be accepted by my peers while I'm here on this planet. When you get them two right there in a lower state, a lower chakral state, you got a dangerous individual that don't give a damn about nothing but himself and what he can obtain. And if that is ever challenged, if that is ever threatened, you are releasing a straight menace. Maybe the nicest menace you ever met. But he don't mean you no good, or she don't mean you no good. Maybe polite as all outdoors, but they don't mean you no good. See, when you talk like that, now you talking reptilian, because you're thinking with your reptile mind. You're not thinking with the mammalian mind. Let me show you something. How many black women you know that like lizards, frogs, snakes? You don't know none. Because they're mammalian. Their brain, the way they're more right-brained. You see what I'm saying? They're more right-brained. They see that type of shit and it fucks them up. But they'll see a dog or a cat or something like that. It don't fuck them up like that. You see what I'm saying? Just think about it now. Because they're not left brain like that. They're more right brain. They're nurturing. They feel the same energy vibe from that. Versus a person that's more left brain, they're more in tune with reptiles. Ain't no, you talking all this shape shifting shit and all that, man. I ain't never seen no shit like that before. But if you break it down to the type of brain that we got, which is proven for a fact, now you start understanding it. How is it proven? Because we all have these damn tendencies. We all have these characteristics. Everybody has a fight or flight about them. Everyone. And everyone has some type of nurturing side. The key is to find the balance in between the both. Because if you're too much on the mammalian side, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna be able to take the chances that you need to take in order to get yourself further. But if you're too much on the reptilian side, you're not gonna have what it takes in order to have longevity out here on a social standpoint. Yeah, you might get all the money, but boy, I promise you ain't gonna be at old age with it. You see what I'm saying? Because the way that's my opinion, that's my philosophy anyway. Because the way things come back around is speeding up right now. Karma's real, and it's a bitch. All depending on what you're putting out. You see what I'm saying? It could be the sweetest thing in the world, but she could also be a bitch too. So you got to be careful on what you're putting out. But see, we don't want to understand that part because We don't want to be educated. We want to stick to the rivers and the lakes that they gave us, that we're used to. That waterfall that we know exists and can be so pleasant and replenishing. We don't want to go chase it. You see what I'm saying? My opinion. But I'm going to kill it right there, man. Hopefully somebody got something out of this. Hopefully it was enlightenment. Gonna bring back Bobby Hemmitt on on a few more videos, because he got so many, man, that needs to be unpacked and broken down. And I think it'll be beneficial as far as for the mindset. Again, over here, have an intelligent mind, be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. That's what it's all about. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the videos, man. Let's get this information out here. I am your host, Keith Daniel. This is the Daniel Diagnosis. Until next time, good people.